Hey y'all, I'm Charles Neal. You know, in case you guys don't know it, yeah, I love to do woodwork, but the only thing I like better than doing woodwork is I like to finish too. I know, that's pretty strange, but I've been doing it a pretty good while. And I keep telling you, when I find something good, I'm going to show it to you. I'm in the middle of doing all these chests, and this is a bird's eye box. We got a streak of heartwood down through it, and we've got a water-based dye on it. And what I did is I put a water-based dye on it, let it dry, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Then I came back and I used a 50% solution of water-based clear, 50%, I thinned it 50% with water. Now the reason I did that is I don't want a total stain. I don't want it to completely seal my wood. I just want to create a little barrier in there, because now I'm going to do something that normally you wouldn't do on a figured maple. Normally at this point people would be putting boiled linseed oil or something like that on it, but I want to show you something. What I have here is actually it's a water-based glaze. What is a glaze? It's a thick stain, simple as that. See how thick this is? In this case, it happens to be Van Dyke Brown, because all I'm going to use it for is to get an effect. I want you to watch what I'm doing here. When I take this and I start to massage this into this wood, what I'm doing is I'm working this glaze into my figure, and I'm also going to leave a very thin film on the surface. All it's going to do is highlight my figure and really help to enrich my color. This is one of those things most people see as an unnecessary step. To me, it's almost a necessity, because boy, does it really help bring it out. Now, I'm full water base. Once this dries, I can either come back with a petroleum-based top coat, or I can come back with a water-based top coat. I would probably let this dry 4 or 5 hours. Overnight's better. And that's one of the ways you get to make figured maples really pop. Let's look at it a little more. In the background, you're going to see some chests. Each one of these chests were done using this technique. But I was playing around a little bit. I like to play with finishes. And here's what I found. This is a water-based stain, not a dye. You can see up in here how sometimes a dye, because it's so thin, wants to really soak in, and it wants to soak in, and it wants to flood out beyond the figure. Sometimes it can create a little more blotch than what we want. So just in playing around, this is a stained water-based. And what I found is I can take it, this doesn't have a lot of figure in it, but I can take it and I can actually just keep massaging it into my grain and get the same pop. Now I'm going over here getting me a 50% solution of water-based clear. And the more I massage it in, the more my curl starts to show and pop out. It gives me more control than just trying to dye it so heavily. Let's look at it with another color so that we can really understand what's going on. And with a piece of wood that has a little more figure. That particular color happened to be pecan, just a light tan brown. Now the other thing I could do with that is I can let that dry. Now we're going to let it sit there a minute. But just to dramatize this is, if you can read it, it's cranberry red. It's a general finish product. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. A little bit of red dye. Stain. This is a stain. All I'm going to do is start massaging it in. Now I'm pushing pretty hard because I'm forcing it down into my curl. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that 50% water-based finish solution, and I'm going to start back on top of it. I want you to watch this. Now I could actually let this dry, or I could take a clean cloth, the same finish if I want to get a little bit more dramatic effect, and I can start removing it from the surface. And this is what you get. And if you play with it a little bit, then I could let this dry, come back on top of it with using the same stain, and just keep deepening that figure. Works nice. I'm Charles Neal. I'll catch you later.